All right, everybody. Going back to Virginia for the second straight week. Don't know how many tickets he's going to need, but we got defensive end Mike Green.
Mike, relatively quiet game for you personally, but how about the defensive effort, towards the end of that game to buckle up and make a stop when you needed to, and, to come away with a big win to set up another big opportunity this week?
Yeah, I think ODU had a good game plan. I feel like they attacked our weaknesses very good. Sometimes everything is just not going to go in my favor. I can't go out there and make 5 sacks and 35 TFLs. But what that do is it open up opportunities for guys on my team to make plays. When they're focusing on one person and when they're trying to eliminate one thing, it leaves something else open. So I think it allowed other guys on the defense to create plays. DV makes a few plays. JJ made a few plays. Chris Thomas made a few plays. And I mean, even though I didn't really have all the stats and stuff that I probably would have wanted, but at the same time, as we got the dub and a guy showed up. So I think we just did a good job. I think the success that we had from that game kind of gave us a boost, and it's like, well, at first it was up to us, but now it's really up to us. Like, if we want what we want to get, then it's just going to come down to can we consistently do the things that we need to get done. And I think we're at a good spot right now, and if we just continue to do what we've been doing, then we should be good.
Looking at JMU, how do you anticipate them attacking you, and then how do you shut them down?
See, I think JMU, they're I don't want to say stubborn, but they just like doing the things that they're good at. So they're going to keep on doing the things that they're good at. I don't think they're going to switch up much. JMU have been having previous success, and the past few years, or it's actually been a while now. Even in the last conference, they've always been doing good, and it's simply because they just stick to what they're good at. They're not going to really switch up much, and I think that's what's been creating them having success is they're not going to switch up a lot. I think they don't really do too much flashiness. They don't do any trick plays a lot or anything like that. They just want to spot the ball and try to see what they can get on you. Regardless if it works or not, they're just going to continue doing what they have scripted up.
Mike, you've been chasing quarterbacks around all year, and some good ones. This guy this week is a kind of a runner and a thrower. Last week he was an exceptional runner. Just another week of studying film and seeing how you can expose him.
Yeah, I believe he's a redshirt sophomore. I believe he won the starting job. He's great on his feet. We know he can pass also. It kind of just comes down to us just doing our job. If we're expecting QB draws or if we're expecting deep balls, is we have to cover both. It's going to be a little bit more of a task simply because he can do both. I know last week he was more of a runner, not too much of a thrower, but this week is like he can do both. And I've seen the games that he had great running games, and I've seen games where he had great throwing games. So it's just going to come down to us, and I think if we just eliminate both those key things that he can do, is I don't really think we're going to have too much trouble winning.
Coach talked about blocking out the noise, wherever that noise comes from. Does the importance of doing that, does that get magnified towards the end of the year when opportunities, become less and less, and the importance of those games increases?
Yeah, for sure. Simply because right now everybody on the team from top bottom is probably getting as much noise as possible when it comes down to how good we are and things like that. I know early on in the year it was just like we were just a regular team, and we was ranked like 5th in our division. So I think especially when teams that you didn't think that was going to have success has success, it kind of raises everybody's ears. It's like, oh well, maybe this Marshall team is good. we just got to do a good job of blocking out all the people that's starting to get in our ears, because you know how things go, and if you're hearing too much, you kind of relax, or you kind of think that we're good. We're not. We haven't really we haven't really achieved what we wanted to get, which was a Sun Belt championship, and we're not there yet. So we just got to keep on going and continue to do what we've been doing good at, and I think everything else will just take care of itself.
I asked Coach Ruff to kind of talk about how this team has changed and grown from beginning to this point. Asked him to brag on himself a little bit, and he chose to brag on the players instead. Can you speak to that? What has it been about this group of players that have really come together to get to this point?
Yeah, it's been a task for sure. It kind of goes back to, I want to say, the winter, or even summer. It's like we didn't really know the identity that our team was going to have. We had guys from everywhere, from West Coast, from Florida, from just everywhere in the United States, and it's kind of like everybody brings their own identity to our table. So we had to make sure that we stick to Marshall's culture, and I think it kind of took a little troubles early on, like in the summer, like summer workouts and stuff, to overcome and make sure that we're a team. And I think Huff this year did a great job of letting the players figure things out. He's going to put his input in, but at the same time, it's up to us, because we're the 22 guys out there playing. So he kind of just stood back the most of the majority of the year and just let us figure things out, and I think that worked perfectly fine, because we're the ones out there playing with each other. He's not out there with us. Like I said, he put in his 2 cents, and we applied that to what we thought, and I think overall it just led us to be successful, because up to this point, and I think he's a player's coach. I mean, it's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. He wants what's best for us, and I feel like in football, you kind of sometimes have coaches that don't really let you voice your opinion, but any guy can go in the coach office and tell him how they feel, and I think that's great, and I think that helps the team out a lot.
Anything further from Mike?
Thank you. God bless.
In the latest framework of You Got Mossed, we've got wide receiver Carl Chester making the debut.
Carl, obviously you've made a few big catches over the last couple of weeks and throughout the season. Just talk about the opportunity you've had to step in to the starting lineup and really start to make some plays.
Yeah, my receivers coach, AD, he preaches us a lot about being confident, and when your opportunity comes, you have to run away and take it with it. So, and Huff always preaches us too, like when the time comes to make your big play, make sure you make your big play. He always preaches about layups and threes, but when that moment comes, I just try to help my team out and make those plays for them when the time comes.
Since we haven't had a chance to really talk to you, can you speak about how far this team has come from the beginning to this point, and maybe talk about Braylon as well, how far he's come?
Yes, sir. This is my first year here at Marshall, and I'm loving this team. Everybody, everyone was new. Basically, it was like a rebuild for a new team. So coming from Tulsa with Braylon, the connection was already there with us, but him coming along and leading this team like he is now, it's a big part. It's a big leadership role he has, and I'm loving it. So me tagging along and me helping my team out, and us coming from ground zero and building up with new players is fantastic. So,
Carl, not a lot of teams are playing for a championship this deep into November, and you guys are. What's that mean to you, and how does that emphasize your game on Saturday?
It means a lot, me being a senior and, us having this opportunity to run this deep in the playoffs is well, not the playoffs, but this game coming up is real big. So we're enjoying it. We're taking every moment step by step, and hopefully, we're going to keep winning and doing our things.
You talked about coming here with Braylon from Tulsa. You guys didn't get to play a ton of in-game action, together there. But how fun has that been to kind of expand on, your guys' chemistry on the field here this year?
Like you said, I didn't really get a lot of time with Braylon, but me and him had this talk before we both committed to Marshall that let's do it the right way this time. Us building a chemistry on and off the field, throwing the ball, catches, routes, anything, hanging with each other, watching film together. So it's a big task, but I'm loving it with him. He's loving it. We're pushing along. So.
JMU, a team that kind of thrives on taking the ball away from offenses. They lead the league in takeaways. Is that something they're doing schematically, or is that just being aggressive when they get a chance to make a tackle and make a play on the ball?
Yeah, JMU's a good team. They're 8-3, just like us. It's going to be a task, but their schematics and how they play. It's going to be a lot of man for. As I'm watching the film. So, watching this film on JMU, it's going to be a good game. But at the same time, we have to keep putting our stuff first, keep pushing with offense, and we'll be fine.
When you get in those man-to-man matchups, I mean, you've had played against other teams that have been kind of that way. Coastal was, and does that kind of elevate your attitude as a receiver, saying, okay, I can go make a play with this?
Yeah, when the teams play us man and just cover one is me versus you, I kind of find it as a challenge. All of our receivers take it as a challenge when that time comes, and Huff is going to keep preaching it to us. He tells us this team's going to they're going to try to take away the run, so they're going to force it to pass, and we have to one-on-one matchups when the time comes. So when the moment comes, us, all the receivers, and myself making those plays is going to be a big time. So, yeah.
Obviously, a guy like Smooth hadn't played in a few weeks, but how has he still been able to impact the team from the sidelines?
Smooth is our leader in our receiver group. Even though he's not playing, he comes to practice, he comes to the film room, he encourages us, gives us talks. He texts us in the group chat. It's Smooth is a great guy, a great leader. He hasn't been there, since App State. So, but him having that impact on us and communicating with us and leading us and keeping our head up when times get low, it's a big role he's doing, and we appreciate him very much.
Coach talked about this week coming up is kind of the opportunity people dream about when they play football. You've got a chance to go play into a championship game. It's at night. It's on the road in a hostile environment. Just from a player's perspective, when you're looking at that, how do you see it?
I just see it as another game, another opportunity. To take full advantage of. As long as we keep playing our style of football and keep trusting what Coach Huff is saying, our position coaches are saying, we'll be fine. We'll win the game like we've been doing. It's going to be obviously we're going to a hostile environment, nighttime, 8 p.m. I see it as our guys. Our guys are just thinking it's another game, another opportunity. Obviously, it's a big chip on our shoulder to win this game. But if we just treat it like another game and keep tackling and keep doing stuff that we doing in practice, we'll be fine.
All right. Anything further for Carl? All right. Thanks, Carl.
Yeah, thank y'all.
Next, we got a guy that I look up and he's all over the place. We got Ian Foster, who I crunched the numbers just really quick. I won't hold y'all long on it, but the minimum requirement is 1.2 kick returns per game played to be eligible for the NCAA lead. He's at 1.1, so given this weekend, we'll see what happens. But Ian Foster.
The defense just, isn't giving up enough points for you to have kickoff returns.
Yes,
But, when you look at the opportunity you've been able to have to impact the game on special teams, obviously you've made defensive plays as well, but, what is it about this special teams unit? Because they've come up really big the last couple of weeks.
The special team unit, everybody is just a bunch of guys that finally bought in. When you got a bunch of guys that buy in and really trust the process and trust the game plan, you get the results that we get, domination.
Talk a little bit about how your emergence as a return guy. I know you've been working on it, but man, the last 2 games, looks like you've been doing it your whole life.
Yes, sir. I actually have. I had a bunch of returns in high school. It was kind of a motto to not kick to me in high school, and it's kind of carrying over to college. But I got to start finishing my returns with the opportunities that I get.
When you look at the last 5 weeks, obviously all wins for you guys, and another big opportunity coming up this week. What's the mentality like in the locker room this week?
Just staying focused, paying attention to the little details, cleaning up the mistakes that we had last game, and building on this game plan and focusing. We got to finish the job at the end of the day.
Obviously, you guys have had a lot of success, and ODU kind of, took advantages of some of those weaknesses. How do you respond from that? And, just how much of it is kind of a challenge to you guys to reset and regroup?
With a little more off time, we should watch more film to clean up those mistakes and notice like our wrong steps or wrong techniques to get in the spots that we needed to make the plays and who wasn't there and why we weren't there. Clean up our eyes and really pay attention to the details this week.
JMU has a dynamic offense, lots of playmakers, but does anybody in particular stand out to you?
I respect everybody when we get on the field, but at the end of the day, we got a job. Everybody has to compete. This is the sport we play. This is the day-to-day life we do.
I got one for you, though. Southern Miss, we're down there, and you're all over the place. I mean, tackles for loss, deflections for Landon's interception. How did that game help build confidence for you going forward? It seems like an incredible 3-game stretch for you.
Actually, Coach Huff has been encouraging me to watch like more film and actually make the film slow the game down for me, and that's what actually happened. And it's been carrying over each week since Southern Miss, and it's been showing in every game I've been playing.
And what's the sideline like whenever you have a big return? It seems like, whether it's Fitz or whoever it is coming off the sidelines, people are running out just to congratulate because they feel the momentum swing there.
Yes, sir. That's kind of the energy I carry when I see like we're in a tough game on defense and offense. Like if we need somebody has to balance the team out, and I just take pride in that. And the unit as a whole, we all take pride in that, and I got to give credit to the unit.
Anything further for you? All right. Thanks, Ian.
Appreciate it.
Another guy that you all are pretty familiar with at this point, he's been known to moss a guy or two as well, wide receiver, Christian Fitzpatrick.
Got another picture to put on a T-shirt if you want to. Last week. Obviously the passing game has really come along in these last few weeks. What have you seen out of Braylon that's kind of allowed that to happen?
Yeah, I just feel like just as we continue to make plays for Braylon, he just has more and more confidence in everybody in the receiver room, which, gives the play caller confidence, which gives Huff the confidence. So we just got to continue to come down with the ball, and, slowly we'll get more and more opportunities,
A lot of opportunity this week, obviously, when you look at what you guys have the potential to play into. How do you go about blocking out the noise and just trying to keep it business as usual despite, knowing the opportunity that lies ahead?
Yeah, I feel like everybody kind of handles this situation different. You could maybe call it pressure and everything like that. But I feel like just as a team as a whole, we do a good job just coming in, and getting what we have to get done for the day. I feel like Coach Huff kind of keeps us in tunnel vision. Nothing's guaranteed, so we just got to go 1-0 every week.
When you look at James Madison, obviously an aggressive defense that loves to take the ball away. Just how do you combat that? Is it kind of just matching physicality with physicality, or just talk me through the approach of knowing that you have to take care of the ball this week?
Yeah, it's always an emphasis every week. Winning the turnover battle. I'm pretty sure we're like +8 over the last 3 weeks or something like that. So that's a great testament to us as players and coaches, just making sure that we handle the ball, because if the defense takes the ball away and we, continue to take care of the ball on offense, that gives us a crazy, advantage. So it's really hard to lose when you're not turning the ball over and you're taking it away.
How much confidence do you guys take when Braylon plays like he did on Saturday? You talked a little bit about it, but it seems like when he wants to go take a hit, he'll do it. When he needs to get rid of it, he'll do it. He seems to be growing with each game.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And we saw this from day one since Braylon got here, like just the swagger that he carries himself with. Like he definitely is the type of guy, you get around him and like his energy, he just brings you along with him. So like it was definitely a matter of time before, all of this came to fruition, because we always knew it was going to come for sure.
You've talked before about some of the depth in the wide receiver room, but really every week it's one catch here, 2 catches there, maybe 3 for this guy, but really spreading the ball out. Talk about the ability to do that and how that's advantageous for this offense.
Yeah, that just comes along with the type of offense we run. Just guys being in the right place at the right time. Bray, doing a good job with his eyes. So whatever the defense takes away, you know, they got to give up something. And, you know, Baylor's been doing a good job of just taking what they give us for sure. And everybody's been in the right spot at the right time. It's all based on timing and everything.
Speaking of the defense and what they're trying to take away, what do you see from them? Anything stand out to you when you look at them?
Yeah, I would probably say, you know, JMU as a defense, they keep it pretty base. They're not necessarily a team that's going to throw a bunch of different crazy looks at you and everything like that. They just play, you know, physical and fundamental football. And to be honest, when I look at the film, the thing that stands out to me most is just how fast those guys fly around. You know, they're a pretty fast and physical group. You know, so it's gonna be a good challenge just to, you know, it's just us against y'all. It's nothing too crazy. You know, they're gonna be where we expect them to be. So it's gonna be a solid game for sure.
You know, one thing I'll add really quick, obviously looking at the weather this weekend, it's supposed to be pretty cold.
Yeah.
You were in Michigan State, it doesn't get much colder than
Yeah,
that.
right.
How do things differ for receivers when you're playing in cold weather like that? And is there anything that you all go through to prepare for a cold weather game to be able to catch or make sure that you secure the ball?
Yeah, no, most definitely. I'm pretty sure we plan on, you know, just everybody trying out a couple different techniques and things to, you know, keep your body warm, see what you like, you know what I'm saying? But just really staying warm on the sidelines and, you know, keeping your hands warm and everything like that. It's not too big of a deal as long as you know what your plan is and, you know, you stay prepared with it. Definitely.
Anything further for Christian? All right, thank you.
For sure.
Next up, we've got the Sun Belt's leader in tackles with 105, coming off a career high 13 tackle performance, Jaden Yates.
Jaden, a few weeks ago, you stood here and said, you know, if we do what we have to do, it's hard to see us not playing in a championship game. To have that opportunity still ahead, you know, what's that mean to you? What's that mean to this team? And just walk me through the mentality of this week.
I mean, it's real important. I mean, nobody in the offseason is breaking it down on let's go 8-4 or let's make it to a bowl game. I mean, everybody's breaking it down on let's win the conference championship, let's win championship games. So for us to be one of the very, very few teams in college football in general to say our goals in the offseason are still very much on the table and very much in front of us is very important to us. I mean, we understand that and we know that. We plan on not wasting it. You know, like I said, there's very few teams come week 12 that are still in position and are still in the driver's seat to win their conference. So I feel like, I mean, God's blessed us with a great opportunity individually for everybody as well as the opportunity for this team. So we just got to come out and make the most of it.
Coach talked about after that Georgia Southern game, you guys could have gone that way or that way, and you went the good way. I mean, that's he put that on you guys that as a group you said, hey, let's turn this thing around, not let that thing turn into another loss, and now you've won 5 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, I think after that loss, you guys kind of asked me a similar question. It was, I mean, how does the team decide where they're going to go from here? And I told you, like, we're going to make a decision. It's going to come down to us. It's not going to come down to Huff, Seymour, Deggy. It's going to come down to the guys in the locker room, the guys who put the helmet and the pads on every day, every week. And we're going to have to make the decision on how we want the rest of the season to go. And I think we showed what that decision is. Like you said, responding, bouncing back from that loss 5 in a row, whatever, is great. But we just got to keep going, man. That's kind of the motto around here right now is keep going, you know, finish what we started. And come this far, just to say we got what is our record right now, like 8-3? 8-3 record. You know, we're supposed to go to the conference, coulda, shoulda, woulda, whatever. Nah, at the end it's going to say we lost, we handled our business after that, we bounced back, we did what we were supposed to do for the rest of the season, and we finished the job.
Looking at JMU, what stands out to you? Anything in particular that maybe they do well that they're going to present a challenge for you this Saturday?
I mean, they do what they do at a high level, and they do what they do well. You know, they ain't a team that's going to come out here and kind of like Fitz said earlier, throw a whole bunch of looks at you, even on offense. I mean, they're going to line up. They know the identity they have on the offensive side of the ball, and they're going to try and execute that for the whole entire game. So, I mean, it kind of comes down to, you know, our guys versus their guys. You know, who wants to play harder, who wants it more, who's better, all those things. So as long as we show up, handle our business, we're going to be just all right.
You know, when a team like Old Dominion, does what they were able to do, obviously exploited some weaknesses. Does that put an extra chip on the defense's shoulder to respond this week?
I mean, definitely. I mean, we were on the bus. Yeah, we won, but at least the defensive bus was a little bit like, damn. I mean, granted, it was a great feeling to see the offense go do what they did, offense and special teams. Those guys came out there and had a game, but we feel like defensively we left a little bit on the table, a little too much food for our brothers to have to clean up on the table, especially there in that third quarter, early in the fourth. So I mean, it's a bad taste where we're kind of excited to get out of our mouth. I mean, yeah.
And Coach talked about this week coming up as kind of the opportunity that you grow up dreaming about playing football. Whether it's a chance to play into a championship game, it's at night, it's on the road in a hostile environment. Just can you speak to the level of excitement to go out there with one last guaranteed opportunity this regular season?
I mean, it's just another game with your brothers, man. I mean, y'all know in college football, come December, January, who knows who's going to be where, who knows who's going to be doing what. So for the guys, for the last about 10, 11 months now, I mean, we've been together more than we've seen anybody else in our lives. So, I mean, these are all our brothers now. So that's what it comes down to, is just suiting up with your brothers. I mean, numbers this is the last guaranteed game we get except for the bowl game. And even nobody knows what's going to happen by that time. So kind of taking this thing one at a time, being very appreciative of the opportunity God's given us to continue to keep suiting up together in meaningful games and knowing we still got things to do in front of us, still got business to handle, still got goals to achieve. That's one of the most important parts of it.
Obviously, a holiday week. How do you balance, holiday time with game prep and, spending some time maybe with family and extra time with the team?
You better watch that film while you eating, man. We ain't playing. Like you said, I mean, though. I mean, Thanksgiving's around the corner. Guys are gonna, whatever their process is, they're gonna do what they do. But I feel like everybody has a good gauge of not to kind of just go home wherever you go, waste the opportunity, sit around the house all day. We're a little more of a mature team than that. So I'm sure everybody will, whatever that looks like for them, they'll handle that business. They'll do what they need to do so that, we can still come out here and put a good product on the field.
So what will you be eating when you watch that film?
I couldn't tell. I ain't going home, so I couldn't tell you. I'll be up here, probably with Seymour, watching film, getting ready to play Saturday. I'm sure as a team, we got goals that we want to achieve. But individually, I still got some goals left on the sheet that I ain't marked off yet. I'm trying to reach top 10 in the nation right now in tackles. I'm at 11, so I still got some things I need to do, some things from last game I need to clean up on. So that's kind of what my Thanksgiving will look like right there for you.
Anything further for Jaden?
Appreciate y'all.
Thank you.